Bank holiday weekend then, people, but no holiday for Beat the First Man. Here we go with another episode. Coming up on today's show, we've got How Old, which comes from the Netherlands. We have another Your Name Shit, or is it great? And also we have the Premier League managers. It's a knockout quarter-final draw. What are we waiting for? Roll the titles. 4-1, 41. Yes, episode 41 of Beat the First Man with me, Reedy. As always, thank you so much to all of you who've continued watching. If you're already a subscriber, much appreciated. If you're not, why don't you click the little link below that says subscribe, somewhere along there. And better still, click the little bell next to it so that you never miss another episode. I'd hate for you all to be subscribers and then miss an episode, which, judging by the viewing figures in recent weeks, seems to be happening. Anyway, let's get on with things. We'll start with our old friends, Stoke Gabriel. It's quite hard to do that when you're looking at a camera lens. So Stoke Gabriel, obviously, as we know, the season's over. For those of you who are very new to this, torrid time last year, never won a game, loads of spankings, blah, blah, blah. Season ended. Anyway, they've played a few friendlies. So, last Saturday, something nearly happened. They nearly won. I know, they nearly won. So they went into injury time leading 2-1 against the team in a couple of leagues above them. They were on the verge of a massive, massive victory. But alas, it wasn't to be. They were pegged back with literally the last kick of the game, robbing them of victory. So it ended with a 2-2 draw. But things are looking a bit more positive. As I say, there is some news in the pipeline, which will be coming at some stage. But things are looking a bit more positive, and can't wait for next season as we get behind the boys from Stoke Gabriel once again. And who knows, maybe mid-table Gary, this is your year. So let's start, as always, with our famous game, How Old? I say famous, well, we've had it on here a few weeks, no one else does it. We pop a picture of a footballer on the screen, and all you have to do, quite simply, is guess how old that footballer when the picture was taken. That sounds very straightforward, but obviously we've not picked ones that are dead easy. Okay, you get the drift? So this week we head to the Netherlands, and a man who was a goalkeeper for a team called Helmond Sport in Eredivisie in the Netherlands. He actually gained fame for being the goalkeeper when Ajax scored their infamous, or famous, 1-2 penalty. So if you don't know what that is, you can go and YouTube it, you'll find it. Johan Cruyff basically ran up to take the penalty, passed it to the side, Jesper Olsen ran in the box, passed it back to Johan Cruyff, who slotted it into the empty net, much to the basically bewilderment of everyone else on the pitch, in the stadium, including our friend whose photo you're about to see shortly. So that was probably his most famous moment. He actually won the silver shoe in the 1982-83 season. I can only assume that's something like Cinderella. I don't know. It's the silver shoe. What do you get a silver shoe for? Well, apparently you get it if you're the second best player in the league in that year, which he was. But amazingly, despite winning that, he was told his place wasn't confirmed for the next season. It wasn't certain he was going to start for Helmond Sport. And our friend decided enough's enough. And he just disappeared from professional football. He said, no, I'm not having it. And he went. And the last he was heard of, he was actually a taxi driver. But let's face it, that's all quite irrelevant. Because what we want to know is when this photo of Otto Versfeld was taken, how old was he? Simple as that. That's all you need to know. So, the result will be revealed later in the show. Our friend Ted will come on to help us with that, as you'll find out later. But anyway, it's time we take ourselves from the Netherlands, hop on a flight, avoid all the dodgy quarantine rules that are going on everywhere. Let's head to Peru. So, the home of Paddington Bear. Not Ted, Paddington, different bear, don't get confused. For another episode of Your Name Shit. Or is it great? So, we find a team name and you simply decide, is it shit, is it great? Pretty simple. This one, I think you will all agree, it's absolutely bloody brilliant. There's no disputing it. Anyone who says this name's shit, honestly, you don't understand football team names. This is a belter. So, this club, they're based in the Peruvian Andes, not to be confused with the Peruvian armies. I thank you. What? I know. I am a dad. Of course I'm going to do dad jokes. That's what I do. They've fallen on tough times recently, unfortunately. They slipped out the top flight back in 2004 and haven't managed to seal promotion since back to the top flight. They actually merged with another club, but they decided to keep their original name, which says it all about how good their original name is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the great name of Deportivo Wanka. Yes, Deportivo Wanka. So, let's ask the question. Deportivo Wanka, your name's shit, or is it great? It's great, let's be honest. It's bloody brilliant. But there's a little fly in the ointment. Wanka, although that's how it's spelt, is actually pronounced Vanka, and it means warrior in Peruvian. So I'm a little bit disappointed when I found that information out. But interestingly, 3 or 4 years ago, they had a massive surge of shirt sales. Guess where from? Yes, the UK. UK football fans purchased in their droves, in their thousands, Deportivo Wanka shirts. And the club chairman was apparently very surprised. He didn't understand why they were all buying them. When it was explained to him why, he thought, maybe they find our team name funny. No, we find it great, my friend. Great. So, talking of Paddington and bears from Peru, here's our old favourite, young Ted. So, how are we, Ted? Not bad, I won't lie. It's been a funny week, though. A funny week, Ted? Why? What's been funny about it, mate? What's up? Well, there was a friends reunion and I didn't get an invite. Now, Ted, I hate to be pedantic and I hate to point out the obvious. You weren't in Friends, hence why you probably didn't get an invite to the reunion, I'm just saying. Yes, but my history with Jennifer Aniston, I would have thought she would have wanted me there. Your history with Jennifer Aniston? I don't mean to be rude, Ted, but what history do you have with Jennifer Aniston? Do you want to see the video? The video of you and Jennifer? I'm beginning to think you're imagining that these things have happened, Ted. There's a video of me in action with her. What? Action with her? What, doing some sort of sports or some sort of keep fit? Reedy, don't be naive, not that kind of action. Some bear on woman kind of action. She couldn't get enough of me. Dear God, Ted, no. You've got to be the world's most deluded teddy bear. But moving on, have you got any nominations for your part of the show you're actually supposed to be here for? Little knob of the week? Deluded, think the word you're looking for is the world's greatest teddy bear. No nominations, just an outright winner. Okay, no nominations again. Okay, well, so who's your outright winner this week then? Think TV pundits, ex-Man U players. Is he ginger? Yep, ginger as you like. Mr. Paul Scholes. That's the fella. So, Paul Scholes. Let's get the little trophy ready, the little knob of the week. So, I have to go to the notes for the quotes because we don't want to get it wrong and misquote our friend Paul. So, before the Europa League final, he said, and I quote, this is the first of three cock-ups Scholes made on the night. We're playing Villarreal here, yeah, good punditry, Paul. We're playing Villarreal here, a team that finished 7th in a really poor La Liga. Think of Real Madrid and Barcelona, how bad they have been. Man United should win this comfortably. They didn't win it, Ted, did they? No, carry on. What else did he say? Well, what he also said, he decided to follow up with an attack on Juan Foyth, the on-loan Tottenham defender. And again, I quote from Mr. Scholes, Foyth was a bad centre-back at Tottenham, and now he's playing right-back. How can Rashford not destroy him? Rashford was shit, wasn't he? He was shit, Ted. It's almost like Juan Foyth marked him out of the game. It's not almost like it. That's exactly what happened. I know, Ted. I was being slightly ironic. It doesn't suit you. Thank you. Anyway, he wasn't happy with that though, old Paul. No. He went in on a third one. So at half time, Man United are trailing 1-0 at the break. He stated, and again, I quote, "I'm still confident. We have been in this position many times already this season. If they are patient, they will open this team up. If they get 1, 2 or 3 will come." How many did they score, Ted? 1. Where was the 2 and the 3? They didn't come. Did they win it, Ted? Nope. That got awkward pretty quickly. So, it's just rubbish punditry. Lazy punditry. Because Man United are a big name, Villarreal aren't a big name, Scholesy made his wonderful punditry statements, which were just lazy. You're going into little shouty man territory again. I know, sorry. So, Paul Scholes, without a shadow of doubt, you are this week's Little Knob of the Week. A well-deserved winner, my friend. Go and put that next to your other medals, like Ginger Person of the Year 2003 or whatever other ones you won, apparently. Ted, we'll see you later for How Old the Reveal. Do you think you've got it this time? Sorry, Reedy, I was just watching that Jennifer Aniston video again. Whatever, Ted. He's properly, absolutely deluded. So, the Premier League managers, it's a knockout competition. We are down to the last 8. The last round was who could put up the best shelf, which saw us lose 8 managers. So we're now down to the quarterfinals, and we're down to 3 categories left. So same as before, we'll draw out the quarterfinals, then we'll draw out the category. Because I don't have any glamorous assistants on either side of me to do the draw, I will not only have to do the draw, I will have to write down who the ties are for the quarterfinals. So let's get this underway. Mark Reed, if you will draw the home teams, and Mark Reed, if you will draw the away teams, and Mark Reed, if you will bloody well write down the ties as well, just because you have to do everything on this bloody show. So, the first name out of the hat is Scott Parker. Technically, we could have thrown him out for not being a Premier League manager anymore, but we'll leave him in. So Scott Parker will play Marcelo Bielsa. So Parker v Bielsa is the first tie. There's 3 more ties to be drawn. Just get the bits of paper twirled round. Jurgen Klopp. Please wait patiently while I write down Klopp. And he will play Ralf Hasenhüttl. So it's the German Klopp v the Austrian Klopp. They're not my words. Lazy pundits. Or 2 stuck together. I'm going to have to take them both. These are going to have to play each other because they were stuck together. Steve Bruce. Who will Steve Bruce play? We'll play Pep Guardiola, which just leaves 2 more. And the first one is Brendan Rodgers. I can't remember who the 8th one is, so I'll have to unfurl it to remind myself. Of course it is. It is David Moyes. So we have Parker v Bielsa, Klopp v Hasenhüttl, Bruce v Guardiola, and Rodgers v Moyes. So the category, there's 3 categories left. So we're going for this one. Oh, bake a cake. So there's your quarter-finalists, there's your category. So who cooks the best cake, or bakes the best cake? Sorry, they don't cook a cake, do you? I suppose you do technically, you put it in the oven, but I don't want the old the army of chefs or cake makers, or who's that old woman that does it? Mary Berry. I don't want her on the line saying you don't cook a cake, you bake a cake. So just to keep her happy, who has baked the best cake? So next week we'll preview the 4 ties. The polling will open the week after, and then we'll move into the semis and then the final. The drama is gripping, I hear you say. It's gripping, Rudy. There we go, you heard it. So, 4D. as you know, with 4D, we like to congratulate people for efforts in the game in either the last week or last couple of weeks that deserve an award a bit out of the ordinary, a high budget kind of award, the sort of award where you know that someone's invested a lot of time and effort into it. Something like this. Yeah, 4D. So 3 Ds for the do and 1 for the doff. Simple as that. Let's get that straight, because that's going to play with my OCD of things not being straight. So this year in France, when the season kicked off, there was no doubts about it. PSG were going to romp the league. They had the huge financial muscle over everybody else. They got Neymar and Mbappe up front. They won the league for, I think it was 3 years on the bounce. So no two ways about it. Red hot favourites, procession to the title. Literally, it was a case of when, not if. And would they lose any games on the way? They had a bit of a wobbly start to the season. And this season, a team called Lille had other ideas. You might not have heard of Lille. I would think you probably all have if you're football fans. Managed by Christophe Galtier, not to be confused with his mate Jean-Paul Galtier. He took the helm in 2017. He actually took over a team that was down by the relegation zone, and he guided them up, and for the last 2 years he got them into the European spaces, but they still weren't expected to challenge for the league title. He built up a team of a real collection of exuberance, of youth, and of proper old school experience. So let's take his central defensive pairing. Former Southampton defender Jose Font, remember him? 37 years old he is now. And Sven Botman, 21. Two centre-halves played alongside each other, marshalled a defence that conceded just 22 goals in the whole season. Absolutely superb. Up front they were led by a 35-year-old Turkish striker in Burak Yilmaz. Never played outside his homeland, his first season playing in a foreign country, banged in goals left, right and centre. So our friend Mr Galtier, he pulled all this together. His team were unbeaten in all matches against their nearest title rivals. So PSG, Lyon and Monaco, not one of them beat Lille. In their 18 matches away from home this season, they collected a staggering 43 points in 18 away matches. Over 2 points per game away from home. Absolutely brilliant. They clinched the title on the last day of the season. Only the 5th time in their history they've won the league, and it just brings hope to everybody else that actually, despite all that financial muscle, every now and then someone can come along that upsets the apple cart. And to put it in perspective, so in England you have the financial muscle of the Big Six, let's not forget them, there's this week's dig, and the others. The others still have huge finances. It's not like that in France. The top teams, PSG, are miles apart from anyone else. Lille have probably about mid-table budget, mid to top half-table budget, but that budget is still probably 95% lower than PSG's. So for them to win the league is absolutely unbelievable. So we're going to have a collective award, Lille FC of France. 4D, my French friends. Bon. That's good, you uneducated amongst me. Anyway, zooming in. So, for a change, there's no zooming in this week. Sorry to disappoint you. I know I promised you one. The lads from Vela Incident, something came up that we couldn't record this week. But they are coming on. They promised we're going to do it in a couple of weeks. We've set up a date now, so we're going to be doing it in a couple of weeks' time. But I thought I'd give you a heads up on a couple of other zooming ins coming up. I'm bringing back some old favourites for a Euros preview. So we're going to have 3 members of different musical acts will be coming on here to help me preview the Euros. If you think we've had some fun with the club rivalries, boy are we going to have some fun with the country rivalries in our Euros preview. That'll be on in a couple of weeks' time. I've got another young band hopefully coming on. We're just about to tie things up. Lads called the Dots from Huddersfield. So we're just trying to tie that up. They may be on next week. It may be a couple of weeks' time. Gary, Stoke Gabriel chairman, is going to come on. We're just trying to tie up the right time to do that. So there's loads more coming up. If you've got anyone that you know that you think might fancy coming on here, musical acts, drop them a line, let me know, and we'll endeavour to get... I never turn anyone down. Anyone that wants to come on here, musical, or you're just a football fan and you want to come on and chat football for a bit, it's fine. Just drop me a line and on we'll go. So, the lineal European competitions. It was the last weekend last weekend. That's too many last weekends. The lineal European Cup, Borussia Dortmund held it, don't forget. Well, they won 3-1 against Bayer Leverkusen last week, so they will hold the lineal European Cup for the closed season. They will spend their summer keeping the trophy nice and shiny, ready for the start of the new season. And the lineal UEFA Cup, well, they only did it again. Susanna Hoffenheim, she defended the trophy. They beat Hertha Berlin 2-1, an injury time winner from Kramaric, taking the breath away from Berlin. Take my breath away, do-do-do. They sang that song for you youngsters who've got no idea why I'm singing that. And it's the last one, come on. So Susanna Hoffenheim, take the trophy home. Next time you're sitting down with the Bangles, talking about your Manic Mondays and walking like Egyptians, you can hold the lineal UEFA Cup up at the same time. That'll be back next season, so be sure to see whether your club could win the lineal European Cup next season. Remember, any club could win it. So, time to bring back the bear, which can only mean one thing. How old the reveal? Jennifer ain't happy. Why are you still going on about that? Said I shouldn't be showing you that video. Ted, moving on. Let's see what the public thought then. Jerry on a ferry. We are sailing. We are sailing. Anyway, he is not 47, Jerry. 47? Has he got salt water in his eyes from that ferry? I mean, I know he looks old, but he ain't 47, is he? Come on. I know, Ted. I didn't think he looked 47 either. I mean, little bit younger than that. Steve from Bishop's Cleeve. Right, really, that is not a place. That's one of them dodgy beers you can buy off the supermarket shelves. Ted, it's not. I've been there. I've been to Bishop's Cleeve. I know where it is. Bullshit. It's a beer. Ted, so angry, so aggressive. Anyway, he went 29. Sorry, Steve, you're wrong, my friend. And so, Ted, over to you. Well, I've studied really hard this week. I've looked at his eyes, his ears, his hairline. Well, that wouldn't have helped much. Agreed. And I've come to the conclusion he's 24. Ah, Ted. So close, but no cigar. So when this photo of Otto Versfeld was taken, he was 26 years old. Blimey. Wonder what he looks like now. Probably not much different, Ted. He probably looks exactly the same as that, but he's just about 40 years older than he was then. Agreed. I'm off now. I'm off to see Jennifer. Oh, good God. Why is that playing again? I'll tell you why that's playing again. So last week, as you know, we had the Man United Wolves game to predict. Guess went 2-1 Man United. I was fuming because I had picked Man United 2-1 and wrote it down, but I had to go different because I'll never go the same score as her. And of course what happened? Man U won 2-1. So she got 3 points, I got 1 point, which means going into the last game of the season, it's guess 19, knowledge 17. All that stands between her and glorious victory, me and abject failure, is the Champions League final. So, as always, I let her go first. I always let her have first shot, so she does have that advantage. So let's remember, if she wins, she has the advantage of always going first. So I have to change my score. Yeah, just thought that one up today. She's gone for Man City to win 2-1. Now, here is where I am torn. I do think Man City will win it, but I can't go for a Man City win. If I go for a Man City win of a different score, I can get 3, but she'd still get 1, which means the best I can do is the 20-20 draw. So I'm not doing that. So I have to go for the draw, or I have to go for a Chelsea win. I can't see Chelsea winning it. I don't think they're up to it. I know they beat Man City in the league the other week, but I do think Man City have just got so much more attacking prowess. They are going to win that game. But I also do think Chelsea might be able to hold out for a good chunk of the game. So I was torn. So I'm going to have to go for a draw. A draw is my only hope. Now, I have to get it bang on. If I get the draw but get the wrong score, I only get 1 point, which means I lose 19-18. if I get the draw bang on, I win 2019, which will be the greatest victory in the history of prediction games. So I am going for a 1-1 draw, giving me 3 points and giving me the victory and sealing the deal. I'm not very confident. I'm not going to lie. I think City are going to piss all over them in 90 minutes, if I'm being brutally honest. I think they're just going to be too much for Chelsea. I think Chelsea done a number in the league, but even then, to be honest, City could have been out of sight by the time Chelsea woke up in that game, and I just can't see anything other than City winning. And I think Guess is going to get the points. I think she's going to win it, and I'm going to be left with the abject failure of being beaten. But hey, we shall see. You never know. It's a funny old game. Who said that? Oh, that Greavesy fella. Anyway, so there we go. Another show completed. A little bit shorter than normal, obviously, because we had no zooming in, but hope you still enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it and you haven't subscribed, please click the link down below. Don't forget to ring the little bell so you don't miss another show. Give us one of those to say you liked it, because it's good for my ego, and it also massages my baldy head as well as my ego. You will have noticed my baldy head has returned. No more long hair, which, to be honest, it was getting in my eyes in last week's show. It was that long. All that's left to say is, for now, ding ding. Next stop, Saturday the 5th of June, which will be episode 42 of Beat the First Man. So as always, guys, please stay safe and see you all next week.